Dads, what was your don't tell mom about this moment? When I was 11, I caught my dad sneaking around our garage at midnight. He was trying to push this beaten-up Honda Civic behind our house where mom couldn't see it from the kitchen window. The car looked awful, rust everywhere, dented hood, and a cracked windshield. But Dad's eyes were glowing like he'd just won the lottery. "Help me push this beauty around back," he whispered, "and don't breathe a word to your mother." He slipped me a $20 bill, which was huge money for me back then. "This is going to be our project." Every weekend when mom worked her hospital shifts, Dad and I would sneak out to work on the car. He taught me everything: how to change the oil, replace spark plugs, patch up rust spots. We'd blast AC/DC from this old boombox and work until our hands were black with grease. The car was a mess. The previous owner had treated it like a dumpster. We found half-eaten burgers under the seats, about 50 cigarette butts in the ashtray, and what looked like a raccoon's nest in the trunk. But Dad just kept saying, "This is how you learn, buddy. Better to learn on a beater than a beauty." One Saturday, Mom almost caught us. She came home early with a migraine, and we had parts scattered all over the backyard. Dad made me create a distraction by pretending to fall off my bike in the front yard. I screamed like I was dying while he frantically hid everything under tarps. Mom never suspected a thing. The real test came when I turned 15 and got my learner's permit. Mom wanted me to practice in her new SUV, but Dad kept making excuses. The insurance won't cover him, or the steering's too loose for a beginner. What Mom didn't know was that I'd been driving that Honda since I was 12. Dad would take me to empty parking lots at dawn on Sundays. He taught me stick shift, parallel parking, even how to drift in the rain, though he swore me to secrecy about that part. Mom started getting suspicious when I aced my driver's test first try. The instructor said he'd never seen a kid handle a manual transmission so smoothly. That night at dinner, Mom wouldn't stop asking how I learned to drive stick when neither of our cars had manual transmission. Dad just kept shoveling pasta into his mouth, avoiding eye contact. But then my little sister Rachel, who'd been holding this secret over my head for months, couldn't contain herself anymore. "They have a secret car," she blurted out, then slapped her hands over her mouth. Mom's fork clattered onto her plate. The next 10 minutes were chaos. Mom yelling about safety and responsibility while Dad tried explaining his educational project. I just sat there watching them until Dad finally cracked and started laughing. "Come on," he said, grabbing Mom's hand. "Let me show you something." He led us all to the back of the house and pulled off the tarp. That rusty Honda had transformed into something beautiful. We'd repainted it midnight blue, restored the interior, and even installed a small sound system. Mom stood there speechless, running her hand along the hood. "You two did this?" she whispered. When Dad nodded, she punched his arm hard, then hugged him harder. "You're both grounded," she said, but she was smiling. "Now show me what this thing can do."